Essex clung on for a draw at Chelmsford thanks to Adam Wheater's highest score for the county, as Middlesex huffed and puffed and came close to winning their fourth LV County Championship match of the summer. They began the final day on 39 for 1 in their second innings, leading by 133, and there was some amusement early on as Ravi Bapara let the ball slip out of his hand. Eventually, umpire Peter Willey decided that it was a wide. Really? After rain had ruined much of the penultimate day, Middlesex were looking to Chris Rogers to push the scoring along early on, as his side tried to set themselves up for a declaration later. He lost his overnight partner, the night watchman Anthony Ireland, who had his stump smashed by David Masters, who then also found the edge of Dan Houseco's bat as Middlesex slipped to 64 for 3. The door may have just been opening for Essex, but Dawid Malan and Rogers slammed it shut again as they took their side to 3 figures, with Rogers going to a 46-ball 50. He was out for 63 when he was hit on the pads by Rhys Topley and walked off at 101 for 4, the lead now 195. Malan and his captain Neil Dexter then added a further 59 runs to that in no real hurry, as Middlesex headed to lunch at least without the fear that they'd let Essex back into the match. Malan fell for 39 shortly before the break, as he gave Masters yet another wicket this season with a missed-time pull shot, which was caught by Graham Napier. Jamie Dalrymple followed 4 balls later, edging Masters to Owais Shah. That was Masters' 4th wicket of the innings and his 32nd of the season. Middlesex batted on after lunch and now aim to push on with their captain leading the way. Dexter went to his 50 with an exquisite cover drive, which brought him his 6th 4 in an innings thus far lasting 62 deliveries. He added a 6 to that off Tim Phillips to reach 73 before the declaration finally came at 211 for 6 to set Essex 306 runs to win in what became 55 overs. Chasing such a target, Essex needed to make a good start, but in fact they did just the opposite, losing Jake Mickleborough in the 5th over, bowled by Tim Murtagh. Murtagh, who took 5 wickets in the first innings, was having a wonderful match, and it got better when Shah dragged on to go for a duck this time. And when Mark Bettini gave Murtagh his 32nd wicket of the summer and his 8th in this match with a catch down the leg side, Essex were in heaps of trouble on 21 for 3. And it got worse when Bapara was bang in front to Ireland for 8 at 28 for 4. The one bad thing for Middlesex was that Murtagh felt a tweak in his knee and ended his spell midway through his 6th over with figures of 3 for 9, and with him out of the attack, Essex were able to recover through Matt Walker and Wheater, who carried the total to 52 for 4 by tea. Middlesex now had 39 overs to get the remaining 6 wickets, and they started the final session perfectly by removing Walker in the 6th over as he pulled Ireland to Sam Robson. Now on 80 for 5, Essex had a battle on to save the match, but Wheater and James Foster kept the Middlesex bowlers at bay for the next 20 overs. Gareth Berg bowled in spite of dislocating a finger in the field, but his side just couldn't get the wicket they needed to give them a real chance. Essex didn't just try to block their way to safety either, and Wheater in particular played with some freedom. That meant that he was able to reach his 50 off just 55 balls, some effort given the match situation. This shot gave him his 8th boundary. He added more to that as well as the game began to slip away from the visitors. Middlesex, though, were given a sniff when he was out with 14 overs left, as he was legged before to Malan, who also removed Napier for 3 with 8 overs remaining. However, Foster kept his head, and in partnership with Tim Phillips, he was able to see his side to the close, which came with Essex on 196 for 7. The 10 points accrued by Middlesex keeps them in 3rd place in the 2nd division. There were no winners in that division in this round of matches. Essex had to make do with 7 points, and they remain planted in the middle of the table.